cop busters, why are you in my house? Y'all planted drugs on Yolanda, and we're gonna get her released and get the crooked cops busted. How about my attorney right there? Is he under arrest?
He's been detained right now.
Is he free to leave?
Is he free to leave?
Yeah. Oh, Renee, let's go! Renee, let's go! Barry, I'll send you a bill!
Former Odessa police officer Barry Cooper set up a fake drug house to sting the Odessa Police Department on his reality show Cop Busters.
Today, the family that hired Cooper are getting what they want. Yolanda Madden is a free woman. Federal Judge Rob Junell vacated her sentence.
My name is Barry Cooper.
Barry Cooper.
Barry Cooper, one of the best narcotics officers in the country.
The Barry Cooper story, what's a big one?
Barry was your worst nightmare.
Barry Cooper could piss an entire nation off with a wave of his hand.
Who has the power to pull a gun on you, shoot you, and probably get away with it? It's a police officer.
This is the money that we seized.
The only way for Barry to repent for these sins was to say, I was the villain, now I need to be the hero.
Can you imagine a DVD that teaches criminals how to break the law?
Now, the former straight-laced lawman is using his expertise to show drug users how to conceal their stash.
It's all in an outrageous DVD that he's produced called Never Get Busted Again.
He was one of the first people to make a huge public stand.
Oh, I thought he was crazy. You know, I thought he was gonna get shot down.
So why in the world would you, as a former drug enforcement officer, want to help people use drugs?
He's developed into this much more dangerous enemy of law enforcement.
We must end this war on our people.
That offended almost all law enforcement officers, and he became a target.
Hey, Rangers, why are y'all being pricks like that? You don't want me busting crooked cops?
We get into some real cloak and dagger, Breaking Bad, Ozark shit.
Barry Cooper himself is still at large.
Barry broke the code. People wanted him dead.
I was considered one of the worst traitors on the planet to law enforcement. And my response to them was, F you, come get some. Hello, beautiful boys and girls. I'm glad you got up, dressed up, and showed up for the second part to Spotting Federal Informants. We are covering the last part of episode 3 of the absolute wonderful documentary, Fall of the Boogaloo. Ford Fisher is the filmmaker. He reached out to me and asked me not to stream all of his beautiful series on this show. I wasn't going to anyway, but I want to cooperate with him. So I'll be doing the last of episode 3 here, and then I'm going to cover episode 4 next week, and then we'll move on to exposing other informants such as Tucker Carlson and some filmmakers that you don't realize are informants and some other people who are out there. I got to start out by talking to the YouTube robots right now. YouTube, last week.
Dear YouTube.
Huh?
You have to say dear YouTube.
Dear YouTube, last week I streamed the Fall of the Boogaloo series that's on YouTube. It already passed all your censors, but because I live stream it like I'm going to in a few minutes, you robots detected it as there's a gun. I see a gun. This is a live gun show and somebody may get shot and we don't want anybody to see that. YouTube robots, that's not going to happen here. I am re-streaming video footage of men with guns that had the guns back in 2020 and 2021. And like I said, it's already an existing video right now on YouTube. So YouTube is allowing it to be played. So please allow it to live stream here. If for some reason YouTube robots kills this stream like they did last week, no worries. Check the link. Go ahead and have the Rumble link saved. It's in the chat box. We're streaming on both YouTube and a Rumble. Mia stayed up late last night, got up early this morning to get us streaming on Rumble now. Okay, and I've got to say something. Look, this is a message. Charlie, I'm streaming. Quiet. This is a message that I'm a dog lover. This is to the Boogaloo people, the Boogaloo boys, the Boogaloo girls, that group. Because I've gotten a chance to meet a few of y'all, and I've spoken to a few of y'all, and there's probably some in the chat right now, or they will be here. I'm not shitting on your activism at all. As I'm assessing this video, remember the goal is to teach people how to spot federal informants so they don't get busted like some of y'all did. But I'll also make little snide comments. You know, I'll be like a smart ass, like, how'd they let that one get by him? Don't pay attention to that. That's not me belittling you or your work. What I see personally as a fellow activist, I think y'all are badasses. I think you got psyoped this whole time. It's too early to say. I just watched a little bit of episode 4 last night, and I'm going to wait for Mr. Fisher to drop all the episodes, and I'll probably talk to a few of y'all more. But you know what I'm thinking? Could this be true? Michael Dunn, the federal informant, his goal, whether he knew it or not, was to get you guys in there on January 6th. So they could fake this invasion of the Capitol, which they did. They investigated. That was an entire federal psyop. They started it. They helped it go through. They finished it. January 6th was a big setup. And I think they used, months before, they started targeting the Boogaloo crew, saying we're going to use, they're going to be the fall guy. We're going to send in an agitator, Mike Dunn. We're going to send, Mike may be an FBI agent. Don't know yet. We keep saying he's an informant. He's acting a whole lot like an agent to me. And he got the Boogaloo people all stirred up to go to January 6th, whether he knew there was going to be an invasion on the Capitol or not. And then he didn't show up. He just so happened to not have shown up. That's one of the 5 ways to spot an informant. And that is, they don't show up during the bad times. They know when to stay out. I think you all were psyopted into January 6th. Now, I'm going to give that a 60-40 reading. I'm 60% sure that's how everything looks. But look, I haven't seen any of the discovery. I haven't looked at any of the cases. I'm going solely by this wonderful storytelling that Ford Fisher does. So last week, we were bumped off the internet about 35 minutes in. So I'm going to play a short clip of episode 2 to point out how we know Mike Dunn is an informant. I want you to see that. And then we'll pick up where we left off last week and stream the last 30 minutes of episode 3. So there's 5 ways to spot undercover informants. One is access. They seem to go anywhere they want. That's why Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley's a Fed, y'all, and I'm going to cover him. He's a good one. I like what he's doing. He's exposing fraud. So I support that. I cheer Nick Shirley on. But he has access. The guy gets on a plane and jumps from here to there, and he's in the middle of all the shit all the time. That's a sign of a federal informant. Number 2, and that's what we're going to cover with this first video clip, false bravado. And number 3, fake arrests. or non-arrest. They were supposed to get arrested, but they didn't. Or it's a fake arrest. You're going to see a fake arrest here in just a few seconds. Number 4, you disappear during key moments. I already went over that. And then you have unrealistic alliances. Like Mike Dunn was making friends with Black Lives Matter. That's unrealistic, isn't it? That's not how the world actually works. And then finally, there's story, what we call in the trailer parks, where I grew up from, like, his story is squirrely. You pay attention to that. So if you're just joining us, Boogaloo people, I'm not shitting on your activism. I consider y'all legends. I think you're badasses. You're my kind of people. I love that you have such discipline. You weren't drunk out there. You weren't on drugs like some of the others. You kept your discipline. You didn't shoot anybody. Wow. Hats off to Boogaloo, folks. That'll probably get the government mad at me for supporting y'all. Don't care. They hate me anyway. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. Let's watch this fake arrest. See if you can point out in this 5-minute clip how we know this is a fake arrest. This was staged by the FBI. The FBI staged this arrest. They planned it. They practiced it. Let's watch.
The unconstitutional law. Is that what you're telling me?
If you feel this
no. That's not what I asked. You enforce the blatantly unconstitutional law.
It's not unconstitutional.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay, listen.
It is so blatantly unconstitutional.
All right.
Me and Pops, hold on. No, you.
Now, Fat Boy on the left probably doesn't know this is an FBI operation. His boss, who knows this is an FBI fake arrest, told him, hey, man, you're one of our best officers. You go arrest him no matter what he says. You put him in jail, okay? So he's there just to put this informant in jail. He may not know that he's in, or he could be FBI in that uniform. FBI have patrolmen who actually go through the police academy and come out as a patrolman, as a fake patrolman. They're actually an agent. Do you know that?
Listen, me and Pops, you work for us. Me and Pops, we come from two different sides of the political spectrum. I come from
your choice.
I come from the far right or the far left. I come from the far right, he comes from the far left.
10.
You want to arrest me for an unconstitutional law?
Are you 7 right now? Are we in elementary school?
5, 4, 3. Get your hand off the gun.
That's not real world. That's Hollywood. This cop is standing there. I'm going to count like a mom. Little Johnny, you better get out of that cookie jar. 5, 4, 3, 2. Get your hand off your gun. So we have a cop that's about to arrest an armed individual, and the armed individual reaches for his gun, and all the cop does is say, get your hand off the gun. That's not how real life arrests work. We know that. Look at the millions of other videos when anybody else and everybody else who ever put their hand on a gun when they were about to get arrested got drawn on. Get your hand off the gun or I'll shoot you. Or they got shot. This is a fake arrest. Go ahead, play it.
Hey, this is what tyranny looks like. This is the first time I've been in handcuffs.
Shit. Welcome to the party.
Yep.
We got you, bro.
Can you get my keys out of my pocket?
Well, we can way over there.
Where are you going to sit? Can I get one of you guys a transport?
I love you guys. Hey, Spikes! I know you can't hear me, but stand up for what you believe in.
I didn't, necessarily want him to like shoot the cop or whatever, but for like all the Billy Badass stuff he would like preach, we would not comply.
We decided to go to the police station and protest there.
Pops, how many guns you got on you today?
Here's another clip from episode 2 of Fall of the Boogaloo. You need to go watch the entire series Fall of the Boogaloo at the News to Share channel. This is the last clip we'll watch of episode 2, and then we'll cover the end of episode 3. I gave you an example of a fake arrest. Remember, that's one of the ways to spot an informant. And the number 2 is false bravado, meaning they're going to be brave, of course, and talk shit and put themselves in situations that look heroic because they're not playing with the same set of outcomes you would be playing with if you did that. You would go to prison. He knows he's not. So it's easy to be brave when you got the feds watching you from a Learjet. By the way, wherever he is during these operations, there is a Learjet circling. There's a team somewhere to protect him. You just didn't see it. You didn't notice it. But he is being heavily watched, heavily followed. I'm going to tell you something else too. Don't feel bad that these feds tricked you. The feds and the CIA have 100 years of deep manipulation. They understand ancient manipulation. And they can manipulate almost anybody at certain levels. You can't spot it, even me. I'm sure I've been psyopted and manipulated and didn't know it. I wonder if my wife's murder, I wonder if the marital problems I had, and I don't talk to my daughters anymore. I lost my family, my brothers and my sisters. Sometimes I wonder if, the feds manipulated some of that. And then I want you to know that they have tools that they use that you don't realize. During those operations back in 2020 and 2021, folks, they had AI like they have now. You just didn't have access to it. They were listening to all your calls. All your phones were tapped under the terrorist laws. You are all being listened to. You don't know that now. You'll never know that. But you are all being listened to. You are all being watched. They were feeding all your conversations every day into AI, and AI was spitting out what it all probably means. And they were steps ahead of y'all. That's how they were able to manipulate the Boogaloo crew to go do January 6th. You were manipulated into that. Here's some false bravado.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Let me go find the chief of police.
See this exchange?
Yep, your Mountain Dew's right here.
I brought you something as well. We'll do it this way. All right. Know this? Support your right to free speech.
I want you to uphold it.
Backstory, Mike Dunn and his Boogaloo crew are challenging a new law that just passed in this jurisdiction that you're not allowed to open carry any guns. And they're all open carrying. Openly violating the law. It's called civil disobedience. And look how this chief reacts. Is this real life, y'all? Is this really how gun laws are enforced in the United States?
Constitution. That's what I want you to do.
We have to keep people safe.
I want you to uphold the Constitution.
I appreciate your conversation this morning, all right?
Yes, sir.
Have a few words. You want to wait till you start? And
I'll
be right over to the right. Yes, sir. You got it?
Yep. I am ready. Testing. So, just to explain what just happened here. Obviously, there's a ongoing libertarian joke about chicken tenders and chocolate milk, and the police department denied my chocolate milk. So, the chief of police just made up for it. Hold on, let me show you. So, I think that's his way of saying, apologizing without coming out.
Interpretation, the FBI had a meeting with the chief of police and told him what to do. The FBI had a meeting with Mike Dunn and said, go do this. you'll be safe. The chief is in on it. The only people who don't know are the men, the real Boogaloo men in the background, and the bystanders. They don't know this is all a planned FBI little operation right here. And this shit's easy for them. January 6th, manipulating y'all into that building was so easy for them. Listen, the CIA and FBI and them, they topple entire countries. They coup countries. They are experts at cooing countries through activism and protest. January 6th was an easy psyop for them. They're like, I'm going to take the passion of real American men who believe and love the Constitution and believe and love their country and aren't doing anything illegal, and I'm going to trick them into busting into the Capitol. I'm going to put some of them in prison. And it's easy for them. It's not hard.
I'm apologizing.
The police.
It was a long night for me, so I appreciate him spending time.
They gave me my pistol back.
For talking to me. Did give him his firearm back. So for me, let me first say this, that I certainly support your right to free speech. I appreciate the conversation, the good discussion, I guess, that we had. Did tell you we'd have a PA system. Wanted to have a podium, but we couldn't get the freaking thing to lock, so we at least got.
False bravado. He's breaking the law and he's standing there. Now his finger's not on the trigger. It's outside the guard like it's supposed to be. But he's on rock and roll and ready. Is that really how police allow us to behave when we're breaking the law? Fuck no. If you ever see anything like this again, 100%, you remember Barry Cooper told you that's an FBI op.
The PA system. I also wanted to say this, and I talked to Mike a little bit about this morning, that we talked about the situation with Duncan Lemp, and I want to send my condolences to that family. I do understand he was blessed with a baby boy, and that the child and mom are both doing well.
They are.
So I wanted to share that.
Hey, his name was Duncan Lemp, so our name is...
Yeah, so there you go. Now, while Mia is queuing up the last 30 minutes of episode 3, we have a special guest in the chat that's helping me. Can you give me this? Yeah. Will this work? Do it?
Yeah, that's YouTube and that's Rumble.
Yeah, so we're live streaming on Rumble. Welcome, Rumble fans, Rumble followers, Rumble peeps.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt McClure. Good to see you. Big D Raj in the house. Michael, we have and my African boy. Good to see you, homie. Glad you're here. I'm glad you're getting up, dressing up, and showing up. The estranged South African. But there's a special person in here. Hey, wait. I just came across Ford Fisher.
Is he the Boogaloo?
Yeah, no, Ford Fisher's the filmmaker. You'll see him in here. He's the long-haired filmmaker who did a brilliant job on this film, y'all. It takes years out of your life to put together a film like this. And he says, I'm not sure how far you'll take the clip, but Trevor, Mike Dunn's mentor, acknowledges speaking to FBI, who then spoke to the chief. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Damn, where's my boy? There he is. Red Russo 9836. Red Russo 9836 is a former ATF agent. He wound up selling the guns illegally, so he went to federal prison. But he's helping me point some things out because there's so many levels of manipulation, folks. I don't know all of it. They could manipulate me, like I said, and I won't know it. You won't know it. They're master manipulators. I can't, because I'm an actual honest, genuine person like most of you Boogaloo people, we can't think that deep. We can't think trickery and manipulation that deep. But Red Russo, I've got a question for you before we start. We're about to stream the last 30 minutes. Dude, do you think Mike Dunn's an agent? Everybody's saying he's an informant. I think he may be an agent. I think he went all that military stuff. I think they went him from the military to the FBI Academy and broke him out, and he's an agent, I think. Could that be possible, Red Russo 9836, from your experience? Could that be possible? Tell me. So we can start this. Good to see you, Big Millsy. Whoa. Okay, he says, of course, or some type of undercover operator. Yeah, but do you think he's actually an agent, or do you think he's an informant? Just say agent or informant. Socialized psychopath in the house. Good to see you, freak. Agent or informant? I'll wait for that to come across the screen. Let's start streaming, babe. Sweetheart. Yeah. Play it for him. D-Rod says, my guess is an agent. Yeah. Red Russo says, I'm not sure, but acts like an agent. That's how I feel. I think you Boogaloo boys had an agent on you, not just an informant. Yeah, Ryan Bowden says it's impossible for a civilian to break as many laws as the average cop. That's right. Desk Mouse says the hardest thing is when they sheep dip someone and they have no background. Yup. That falls under their stories squirrely. Play it.
On Fall of the Boogaloo.
This was a showdown.
They knew that we were ready to step in.
No, go to...
It's not like they're just going to arrest me. My goons ain't going to allow that.
I marked it. Let me see. Hang on. Let's see, babe. Play it. Start at 35:35.
People to like live 6 months, 7 months off the grid.
Okay, this tweet right here, I just got to point it out. He says, I'm going dark. Mike Dunn says, I'm going dark in a week. Know why? I'm sick of society. I want time to focus on living by being self-sufficient. Practice. I will be back, however, unless I get arrested. Me and my boys will keep participating and being active. He later went to David's house and set up a tent that he never lived in because he couldn't stand the cold. This is a lie. But look, young men his age don't just disappear for 6 months to get in touch with themselves. No. Young men his age, especially popular and known, they stay in the game. They need to get laid. They got a lot of needs. So this heroic look like I'm going to go away into the mountains and disappear. By the way, this was right after the riots, too. Right after he claimed to have 4 hit units in the inside of the Capitol. He wants to disappear. No, the feds told him to disappear, and hopefully on David's land so they could go bust David later. And I watched episode 4. It dropped last night, and David got arrested. Those motherfuckers arrested probably one of the best people in this whole crowd. You're going to see how good of a person he is in just a second. Anyway, this tweet's all part of the psyop. The FBI's telling him what to tweet and what to say. You're not working with Mike Dunn. You're working with and against and for the master manipulators of the planet, the FBI and CIA.
So after seeing the effects and the fallout from J6 over the following 2 weeks, I was like, I kind of want to just disappear for a little while. You know, lay low, it's getting kind of hot, you know. A lot of questions, I'm tired of it, you know, I just want some time away. And David Phillips said, hey, I want to build a compound in Maine. Let's do it, man. And I said, all right.
He said, I'm still considering.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to just get away from society. Now you're ready to build a compound. See, that story doesn't match, does it?
Other options, so I'll let you know. And he was telling me about someone in Virginia that had like a shitload of land and that it was accessible to the mountains and he could just disappear if he needed to.
He did message me and he was asking if he could come and hide out on some land that I was renting at the time. And saying that, you know, as long as it had a creek and running water, that he was fine as long as he could get away from people noise, that he was just done with society and he wanted to disappear for a few months.
In retrospect, like, is Rhino lying about that?
Yes, I never asked him for a place to stay. The conversation that took place with Rhino 6 and one other individual, and I believe it took place on Wire, the app called Wire, was about training facilities for groups within Virginia and having locations to train. And he volunteered information. It was like, hey, we have a place, we've got property here, blah, 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 whatever. And that was it. That was the extent of that, to my knowledge.
I remember David saying something to me about Mike Dunn wanting to get away.
This is a good chick right here. This is a good American chick that's down with it, just so you know. She's not in on any of this. In fact, her instincts are up. Check with your women. Now, I believe in men leading. I believe in masculinity taking the lead. But one thing I learned actually as a preacher and as a pastor, I learned a woman has an ability to discern spirits sometimes that often get through men. So they have the ability to feel things that are accurate that you don't feel. So listen to your women folk. If you're women, now if you got a wife that's just separating you from all your friends because she's jealous, like I don't like Johnny, and she ends that relationship, and then I don't like David, and she ends that, and finally you don't have friends, that's not the kind of girl I'm talking about. I'm talking about a woman who loves you. Like you can tell this woman loved David. I don't know what the relationship is right now, but they automatically get like a special anointing. And if they tell you something's up with one of your friends, pay attention to that.
That he was sick of the limelight. It was too much on him. He's a young kid. He wants to just get away, and that he had asked if it could be a possibility, but that he had like other options or something along the sorts.
Did he invite you, or did you need a place to go?
There's Fisher.
David Phillips invited me to go to Maine. I didn't need a place to go.
He said it would be for several months.
He's a liar. He did it. He invited himself. He asked, does anybody have land? Because the feds told him to do that. Hey, David's got land. He loves you. Go camp out. Here's how you do it. Send this tweet out and then do thus and thus and thus.
He also told me that he had several other options.
So weeks prior to Mike going to Maine, he had expressed to me that he was interested in living on my hunting property, and he had expressed to other people in the movement that happened to have somewhere to stay or property that he wanted to start a community or commune or whatever you would call it, live off the grid, not pay taxes, that kind of thing.
Did he ask you? Did he ever?
He was asking for a lot of times, you know, that we were gonna do a camp, and he wanted me to be out there.
This guy's a badass. Look, I'm just reading people. I don't know any of them. I haven't spoken. This guy right here is like one of the, he's next tier level dangerous. You can tell. I'm not saying he's a bad person. Men need to be dangerous. But I know bros. I've been in over 300 street fights, folks. Over 300. I quit knocking people out about 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I was still knocking men out in bars, starting shit. I loved to fight. And I can spot other men who are fighters. This one right here, you know, I would hand him a beer. I'd say, hey, bro, here's you a beer. Let's spit snuff into the fire. I wouldn't fuck with him.
He wanted to go down to Florida.
I did tell him no.
I was right. N2S Reports. That's where you go to watch this whole series, N2S Reports. That's Ford Fisher. He says, spoiler alert, Marcus, the one you call a badass, is now a professional bare-knuckle fighter. Told you. It's not hard.
Mike messages me and asks me if I'm willing to allow him to come here and just wind out. And of course the answer is yes.
I guess that was just the best option. best option for him. You know, Dave was established. He had his own business. He had land.
When y'all see Trevor in here, tell me who Trevor is. Point out Trevor to me.
Previously helping my...
Is Trevor the one that's sitting in the chair with the house in the background? I don't think we've seen him yet. But which one's Trevor?
Like financially, I know myself of over $5,000 that Dave gave him.
I was willing to give my half of my company because he was going to work with me. The kid, I perceived him to be a potentially hard worker. So I figured, you know, we could take this by the balls, man. Like, let's go out, let's pave some driveways, let's seal coat some driveways, let's lay some millings, let's do some grading, let's cut some trees, and I'll split the money with you, dude.
Yeah, maybe. He mentioned something about when summer rolled around doing concrete sealing, pavement sealing, something like that.
And we'll just go and get it. We can live out here with cheap bills, we can make good money, we can live a wholesome life, we don't have to eat all the crappy food, we can hunt, we can fish, we can love every minute. And that was the plan.
It was 2 days.
See how good of a guy he is? That's a friend you want. Come on, bro. I'll give you a job. I'll split the money with you. Let's get rich, eat good food, live off the land. Holy shit. Holy shit. Mike Dunn, shame on you for busting this guy right here. And shame on me for the people I busted. I did it too. But I didn't know. You've got the internet now to know that this shit's crazy. I didn't have the internet. All I had was newspapers to read. I've got an excuse. When I learned the drug war was bullshit and working undercover and tricking people was wrong, I quit.
Later, after he asked to bug out on my land, here comes the FBI on my place. Here comes a black SUV up the driveway. I don't know what the hell, you know. It's a week after January 6th, so I guess they're coming here to get me. I come out and I talk to them. They introduced themselves. One as Jennifer Fisher, one of them is Jason McCoy, and when Jason McCoy introduced himself, he said that he served in the Marines. He had been in the Marine Recon. And then he pointed to his boots and he was like, and these boots right here, I earned these. I don't wear stuff or claim stuff that I haven't earned. And I'm like, okay, good for you. You know, I had no clue what he's talking about.
Rhino 6 identified 2 FBI special agents as visiting him after January 6, Jennifer Fisher and Jason McCoy. According to McCoy's LinkedIn, he had worked for the FBI since 2019 and the Air Force since 2007.
God.
In both his military and FBI capacity, Jason McCoy is a firearms instructor, but he has another vocation. He's the founder of Endex Archery, whose mission is using the power of archery as a therapeutic tool for those affected by PTSD.
Oh, hey. Didn't see you there.
You did see us there. You knew that camera was there.
Keep this posted so people can go back and watch it later. But just want to take a minute to say that, you know, if you've interacted with me online or through DMs or comments or whatever, I've kind of been saying this thing, you know, glad you're here. And I want to explain that a little bit more because it's got, you know, it's got two meanings. So first off, if you found Endex, whether through our website, social media, whatever, or you know us personally and you decide to stick around, support us and share in this journey, then glad you're here. But if you're seeing our content, especially for the first time, and you've been fighting those battles that you don't tell anyone about, glad you're here. So, you know, stick around.
Okay, so that's introducing the agent that one of the agents assigned to investigate you all. You all, one of the agents that you knew. You had hundreds of agents investigating you. This is a big operation. But this guy, you expect me to like hate on him. I don't hate on him. Look, we need the FBI. I said it, yeah. We need the FBI stopping terrorism, going after murderers, rapists, that type of stuff. I'm just mad at the FBI for fucking with good Americans like these Boogaloo boys and tricking them. That's my beef with the FBI, but I'm glad there's men like this guy right here's a badass. He knows what he's doing. Military training, FBI trained. I'm not hating on him. The only thing I'm hating on him is he's a little fake soft. Like, okay, brothers, if you have PTSD, I hear you. Let's have a cuddle puddle and talk about it. No, he should be like, men, I feel your struggle. Come on, let's shoot some bows. Not that fake, oh, didn't see you there. I hate performative stuff. I don't like performance. But I'm not shitting on this guy either here. Personally. Now what he did fucking up some of your lives, I don't like that.
FBI Special Agent Jason McCoy's partner, Jennifer Fisher, graduated as a special agent accountant and began working for the Virginia State Police in 2015. In 2019, she was deputized into the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, a partnership between the feds and their state and local counterparts. This would explain why Fisher, a state cop, arrived with McCoy, an FBI agent, at Rhino 6's house following January 6th. What is your understanding of Jennifer Fisher?
So...
Is that Trevor? Is that Trevor? And while I'm waiting for somebody to tell me if this is Trevor, I've got to talk to the AI robots again. AI robots, YouTube censorship robots. We are streaming a documentary called The Fall of Boogaloo that's already on YouTube, live published on YouTube. I'm restreaming that. So robots, you're going to see guns and weapons in the background, but that's from people carrying them in 2020, 2021. It's not a current live event. And you killed my stream last week, and then a couple hours later you apologized, thank you, and restored my streaming. Thank you for that. But now, if the robots don't listen to me, folks, and this stream is cut for some reason, I'm on Rumble right now. I'll give you a few seconds to go over to Rumble. So copy the Rumble link right now at the top of the chat box and get it ready. So that's Trevor. Okay, and Trevor apparently talked to the feds. That doesn't mean he's an informant. And who did he point the finger at? Who is Trevor talking to the feds about?
I haven't met her personally. I haven't interacted with her personally at all. But I know she's interacted with Mike, and she's also interacted with one of
Bye, Freeman Keys,
who they thought was a friend of Mike's. They showed up at this person's house one day in late 2020 to question this individual about the nature of their relationship.
She's mid-30s, early to mid-30s. Definitely a honeypot situation. Definitely. She's attractive. Soft-spoken, nice.
And if I remember correctly, Jen Fisher was one of the people.
I'm not hating on her either. Now listen, and I'm not saying this just to get by, but do not any of you ever contact any of these agents or threaten them. Don't say anything to them. It's illegal and it's wrong. Don't do that shit. I know they're being identified in this film, and you see who they are. And they were identified before, way back when, but we're not identifying them for you to cause any harm. Don't. You better not. Don't.
Place. So I have also heard the name Jen Fisher a lot, but, haven't made the pleasure of her acquaintance.
I went ahead and talked to them. They asked me, if I had seen anybody inciting violence up there. I told them no, didn't see anything, that I hadn't been involved with anything, that I'd never crossed the road, and that I was just up there to see the events of the day. After that, they left, and I really didn't hear anything else from them. Although that comment from Jason, it just never set right. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. It just didn't make no sense. So that kind of stuck with me over the next week or two.
2 days after the...
Let me explain the boot mystery to this man in the mask. He had a federal agent walk up to his property and say, hey, I'm a federal agent. I earned these boots. And he that's stuck in his head and he doesn't know what that means. All that is the FBI agent trying to be relatable to you. He thinks you'll understand that these are high dollar boots. Only trained combat people wear these type of boots. I'm like you. He's just trying to be relatable. That's what that is. That's how I read it.
Riot. Twitter suspended President Trump. In their public statement, they cited a proposed secondary attack on the U.S. Capitol and state Capitol buildings on January 17th, 2021. But it wasn't Trump supporters who had planned those rallies. It was the Boogaloo movement.
Good. Fisher says the boots comment will end up solving a bit of a mystery in a later episode. Can't wait. Thank you.
I texted Mike on January 14th, referring him to a journalist trying to get in touch. That's when Mike told me he planned to go completely dark into the woods for 6 months. Mike told me that the feds had been visiting Boogaloo groups in several states and that 7 in my group alone got a visit. In spite of this, Mike gave me the phone number for a trusted comrade of his who would lead the January 17th rally in Ohio. Mike planned to hold his armed rally in Richmond on the 18th before going dark.
5 days following the siege on the Capitol, on January 11, 2021, the FBI warned that, quote, armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals from 16 January through at least 20 January, and at the U.S. Capitol from 17 January through 20 January. As a result, at least 21 states activated their National Guards in preparation for potential attacks.
Tomorrow, basically, we're having a Liberty rally. It's been in the planning for quite a while. Basically, we're going out.
Cognac 420 says the FBI doesn't stop terrorism. They do. They catch bombings before they happen. There's legit cases where they've intercepted calls or satellites heard groups talking about bombs and they do a raid and there's a bomb there. That's stopping terrorism, literally. That's the objective definition of stopping terrorism. I know you hate it. I know you don't like to hear anything good about the FBI. I get it. But I'm also mature and objective. I live in the real world. There are some fucking real animals out there that do want to bomb and destroy others, and we need an agency to stop that. My beef with them is how they fuck with the Boogaloo boys and other people like them. They need to leave y'all alone.
There to make sure that our message of equal liberty for all the people, individual rights, are respected by all sides of the government, not just one side or this side, all parties.
DC, because of what happened on the 6th, we decided not to go with doing DC anymore, but we decided we want to try and move forward with the rest of the United States and all 50 capitals. With the message and everything that's been going on with trying to divide America and how everything's been going on with the elections and everything else like that, we want to try and bring unification back into the United States.
If they make a law telling you that you can't do something and it is a victimless crime, something that doesn't affect anyone,
I think you should be able to do whatever you
comply.
want on and with your own private property. It's nobody's business but your own. I don't care what they do. It's never affected my life. If they ban guns, I don't care. If they take my guns, I don't care. I know how to make them. Boogaloo just means resistance, revolution, whatever it takes, you know? Mass civil disobedience, you know? That's the kind of thing. It's just resistance. It doesn't have to be a fight.
we are the Ohio Boogaloo. We're just here to peacefully let it be known that we are here for the people. We are not a pro-Trump group. We are not a Biden group. We are completely politically unaligned today.
You see this guy? He's obviously not an informant. You see the difference in him and the way Mike Dunn acts?
Hey, I also want to put a message out that we hope the Proud Boys do not come here. We do not want you here if you are going to come here and be violent. And Proud Boys have a very long streak of being violent.
It's like this. Here's how to spot a federal informant. It's the same way I detected drugs hidden inside of spare tires. So I would stop 35 cars a day. I would hard search 5. It's a lot of work. I would hard search 5, quickly search 10. So that's 10 spare tires I picked up every day. Whoop, and I would set it back down, let the car go. Pick up another, let it go. And all of a sudden you pick up another spare tire and it's so heavy. You instantly know the difference. How do you know the difference? Because you compared it to normal spare tires. That's how you spot an informant. Compare a federal informant to normal people like this guy in normal. Hey y'all, we're not violent. That's not a Fed. A Fed's going to be abnormal with his finger nearly on the trigger, breaking a law, drinking a Yahoo with the chief of police. And he's going to be loud and brave. F you cops. He's not going to be meek and mild and say, we don't want violence. You see? So what you see normal around you, and then when something stands out, about the only ones mostly the ones who don't stand out and actually try to not be seen are CIA. That's the guy that you never expect. You still don't know that he's CIA. He won't stand out like that.
Unfortunately, the federal government or media published a story saying that we had planned to storm all 50 Capitol buildings, and that's now gotten the entire nation worked up and scared over the idea of unity. We're still coming out to our event, hopefully today, to clear things up.
And this is the downfall. I know I got a lot to say, but there's a lot to cover here. This is the downfall of the Boogaloo movement. Now they're finished with you. Before January 6th, they were supporting you and helping you grow and allowing you to have free movement with your guns. After January 6th, they were finished with you. Now it's time to bring you all down and arrest as many as they can and ruin your reputation like they're trying to do here. That the Boogaloo boys are going to raid all 50 capitals next. That's all part of the psyop. And it worked, didn't it?
And show to our countrymen that no, our intentions today was not to create violence at our steakhouse.
If you continue to oppress the American people, they will remain rational no longer. We can do this together, or we can start fighting pointlessly and killing each other. I don't want that. I don't want Americans fighting Americans. I don't want people left and right killing each other over stupid things that don't matter, and I don't want the government to laugh all the way to the bank while they do.
We kind of see our protests aren't getting anywhere. They're not listening to us. Black flag represents, like, this is war. They're not going to listen. We will raise this black flag and say, put our foot down, say no more.
This is a reaction. This is not inciting anything.
We need to be so annoying they have no choice but to listen. Because they work.
I was arrested at the Capitol. I turned myself in after 3 days being on the run after they arrested my wife. After the Texas Rangers knocked on our apartment door, undercover. Hey, is a woman. I hit your car out here in the parking lot. We need to exchange insurance. My wife walks out there. Boom, Texas Rangers arrest her. So I go on the run for 3 days before I turn myself into the Capitol here. That's all online. You can watch it on video. I was high as fuck. Look, don't get high, folks. This is not glorifying drug use. But we had stationed at a coffee shop before my walk to the Capitol to turn myself in, and I had the media around me. And at the coffee shop, I looked up, and it looked like a cop. I thought he was going to arrest me at the door and not give me a chance to go to the Capitol and give a speech. So I went ahead and swallowed the 3 Xanax I had. That's jail Xanax. I've been arrested so many times, I know that if I'm about to be arrested, I try to take a couple Xanax so I don't have to go through the stress of jail, right? So I had these Xanax in my pocket. I was going to give my speech at the Capitol, eat them, and then a doctor prescribed, of course, and then go to jail. But I had to eat the Xanax faster because I thought they were going to arrest me. So I wound up on the Capitol all zoned out on Xanax, giving a speech. Remember how crazy I looked? That's the backstory. So here's Boogaloo at the Austin Capitol, January 17th, 2021.
For us, they say we are white supremacists. Yet many here have marched with Black Lives Matter. Many here have grieved for the loss of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. We grieve for the loss of Duncan Lemp. We crave for racial equality. They want to divide us and distract us. What are they trying to distract us from? Federally, they want to strip us of our Second Amendment rights.
It's a statement. I told you it was a statement. Y'all understand what we think of this. This was gifted to me anonymously. I did not take this. It was gifted to me like this by an anonymous person. So all I'm doing, because I did not take this, somebody else gave it to me anonymously, I'm delivering it back to its owners.
He's doing that because the FBI told him not to break any laws. And when you take a sign from a city or a state, you take a sign, that's an offense. Like, you can be arrested for that. So he's like, somebody gave me these signs, I'm returning them. More bullshit, more theater. Nobody does that. If somebody gave me those signs and I was the leader of a group, I don't care about these fucking signs. I wouldn't take them to the police and say, somebody gave me these, here it is. Who does that? Feds.
That's what we think of that.
God bless you guys. Second Amendment. Hey, if any of y'all want to have a dialogue, I'm a leader of Cowboys for Venus. So
Proud Boys showed up. I'm pretty sure they were drunk, which seems to be common for them.
Hey, God bless you guys. Hey, God bless you guys. Thank you guys. We love you guys. We don't have no hate toward in our heart at all. God bless you guys.
You can tell he's on something. Now, I don't know the Proud Boys. I don't know them enough to comment. I've been following the Patriot Front. They're all feds. The group guys that march in khakis and the blue shirt and the masks, and they peacefully march and then disappear and you never see any of them till the next march. They're all feds, folks. All of those are federal agents. Unlike the Boogaloo Boys, the Boogaloo Boys had some real people in there, some real Americans, brothers and sisters. And they got infiltrated by the feds. Whereas Patriot Front are all feds.
Seeing all the different groups there and how everybody pretty much got along, even though we all don't agree on the same things.
Don't listen to the media, bro. We're not against you, bro. We're not against you at all,
85% of what you're fighting for is 85% of what we're fighting for, and we can sit down and talk about the other 15%, man. We're willing to do that.
I died for you, bro. Hey, I died for you,
Can I shake your hand or give you that? All right, God bless you all. I mean, thank you.
That year wasn't anything like 2020. It was kind of more media than there was.
Gray 886 says, so you have evidence for that claim? Yeah, me. I'm telling you. Evidence enough. I'm the source. Barry Cooper. Quote me as the source on that. Patriot Front or feds. Make a meme out of it. It's not wrong.
Protesters, like, I mean, you had everybody, their mama's uncle out there. I don't know if they were expecting the same thing from 2020 or what.
Why 3D print it?
Nobody knows about it.
Pick the parts, assemble it myself.
Hey, let's see how the media twists this one. They'll be like, no,
The true impact of January 6th, people weren't quite feeling it yet. The penny hadn't quite dropped. So a lot of folks showed up and still wanted to engage, and the energy from 2020 was still there.
Unity, it's all about unity. BLM, Antifa, all that. We all Americans. At the end of the day, we all Americans. So
that's right.
These groups aren't supposed to be coexisting. They're not supposed to smile, talk to each other, shake hands. And we did something that day that should have been history, but it wasn't.
Yeah, this is another good dude. Now, I'm just guessing just for knowing, but this is a good dude right here. This one. That's a good dude. If I'm wrong, hey, I can get tricked too, but I don't think so. But he's bragging about, we made history with these black people and that didn't get covered. Well, you actually got manipulated in that too. Remember when Mike Dunn was like, y'all are our brothers, and joined with the black group? That's called an unrealistic alliance. That doesn't happen in real life. But Mike was told to do that because they didn't want a race riot. They didn't want this to turn into a race riot. Why? Because a race riot would detract from the Capitol raid on January 6th. I think this whole operation was to conduct January 6th. So those alliances you all made with those black people, that was influence. That's all fake. I know y'all were sincere, but that was part of their plan. But it was all fake.
The only history reported was probably you and a couple other people.
Can you talk about the intersection between gun rights and trans rights?
VK. Wait, the dude I just pointed out with the beard? Is that VK in the box? VK Ice. Is that you? Are you in this movie? Somebody tell me yes or no. Somebody tell me yes or no. VK Ice. Bro, is that you? Pleasure to be here. Yes, it is. VK in the chat. Bro, you're a fucking legend. You went to jail? Am I still? No, I think YouTube kicked me. No. Yeah? Well, it's not playing. Oh, I stopped it. Okay, I'm still on. You couldn't see it? Okay. I thought YouTube kicked me.
I was just interested.
Okay, so you guys are legends. You're the real activists. Now, I've been an activist longer than I was a cop, so I know the activist business just as well as I know the cop business. Good to see you, Tashanta. Tashanta's OG supporter. Love that girl. Big Texas hugs. Rumble, folks. Swearvo, good to see you. We're streaming over there on Rumble, too.
Well, if someone is transgender and they have someone that and there's a violent bigot that wants to attack them or wants to kill them, then if they're able to carry a gun, then they're going to be able to protect themselves.
I get it. White people are tolerant. We'll try to protect anything and everything. But do you have to bring the trans woke shit into this? Don't do that again. I know the sincerity of it, and you mean well, but don't invite, when you're an activist and you're on a mission, don't start including everybody in your work. You stick to what made you. And this is Second Amendment. This isn't woke bullshit. This isn't us trying to get along with black people, none of that. This is a Second Amendment activist group, so you stay focused on your activism. If your activism is mushroom therapy, don't jump over into ibogaine halfway through your mushroom therapies. Right? Stick to what made you famous.
Violated our Second Amendment rights. He endorsed violations on the Fourth Amendment. He endorsed and supported violations of the First Amendment. Trump sucks. Biden's even worse. So you might get the luau we all know is coming.
It was very much a return to normalcy after the craziness of January 6th.
That's because they were done with y'all. Back to normalcy because the feds were finished with you. Dave Jamissa, good to see you. He says, hey, Barry, I'm on my Florida vacation, but I wanted to drop in and say hello. You could have been anywhere, but on your vacation, you dropped in to say hi. That's meaningful. Thank you. Peace and love to Florida.
Last hurrah in a lot of ways for that normalcy in the Virginia Second Amendment movement, and things just kind of tapered off after that.
We've come out and we've showcased unity, we've showcased liberty, we've broken the unconstitutional city ordinances while upholding our own oaths that many of us took to the Constitution. We stand for everybody's freedom, everybody's liberty, and Sic Semper Tyrannis, and Virginia will not fall.
What comes next for you guys?
Preparation, same as always, waiting to see what Trump hurt the Second Amendment enough. Now we got to deal with Joe Biden's administration trying to infringe on it as well. So we'll see what happens.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Ford.
By the way, me personally, I think they stole the election. I think Trump won the election, and I think it was stolen, and Capitol 6 was part of it. This was all a psyop to get Biden elected so he could introduce socialism, wokeism, and all that new shit that hit us.
My sound mic done for over a year.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
Office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Starting by arresting 200 American citizens for your fake psyop. And put them in prison. What a shit human. Just for that. Forget all the other stuff. Just for that, Biden. You're a shit human for putting these men in prison. Solitary confinement for January 6th. And you're the one who did it. You did it. You influenced a bunch of sincere activists by putting an agent in there on them and all kinds of other manipulations.
The Constitution of the United States.
Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
So now, on this hallowed ground where just a few days ago, violence sought to shake the Capitol's very foundation, we come together as one nation, under God, indivisible, to carry out the peaceful transfer of power as we have for more than 2 centuries. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, America.
Okay, boys and girls, remember 5 ways to spot a federal informant. Access. They get to go anywhere. They get to interview almost everybody. They're always in the middle of the scene. There's always the money shot for them to put on TikTok. False bravado. Somebody that's constantly facing the police and not getting in trouble or being fake arrested. Fake arrest is number 3. Number 4, they disappear during key moments. Are you kidding? Mike Dunn didn't show up to January 6th. He said it was going to be like a 1,000,000-man march, so he just decided to stay away. Horseshit. A real activist that's a leader doesn't do that. And unrealistic alliances, and their stories are squirrely. Remember, agents are taught when they go undercover, they have a cover story. And their cover story usually matches their life perfectly with just a few twists. In other words, when I worked undercover buying kilos of cocaine from cartel members, they were called Mexican Mafia back then. They weren't calling them cartel at the time. I didn't tell them that I was an engineer with a PhD. I didn't tell them that I had been in prison for 6 years, because I hadn't. Because then they could start asking questions and trip me up. No, you know who I was? I was the country boy from East Texas who hunted coons, and I had a hay hauling business. And I want to move some birds. I want to fly some birds across that border. Want to get some of that cola moving up to Chicago. That way, if they start asking me about hay and coon hunting, I can answer any question they ask. That's my cover story. As realistic as you can be is who you're supposed to be. But there's always going to be a lie in there. And if you talk to that person enough, you can trip them up. So next Wednesday, I'm going to cover episode 4 that just dropped. So go watch episode 4. It's an undercover buy-bust sting operation. They get David with a ghost machine gun. The whole episode is about how they set him up. I've got a lot to say about that. There's something in there that I don't think Ford Fisher or the Boogaloo boys have noticed in that bust. I don't think you noticed it. I'm going to talk about it next week. Right now, I'm going to visit the chat. If you're just joining us, the show's over. Rewind it and learn how to spot a federal informant. But right now, I'm going to join the chat. Cognac 420 says, good point, Barry. VKI says it's a banger. It is. Listen, this is a documentary that belongs on Netflix or HBO or Hulu, but they'll never buy a film like this. Look, my film, by the way, if you want to watch my film, it's on Paramount Plus in Canada, and it's on the Fandango app right now in the US. But Netflix and Hulu and HBO won't air my film either because it's heroic. They've been told not to stream it because it'll break me out. Instead of having 100 viewers here, I'll have several thousand each show, and then I'll get a following of 1 million people, and then they're afraid I'm going to lead them into a revolution, which I'm not. I'm 57 years old. I'm not going to bust cops anymore. I'm not going to lead people into a revolution, but I'm going to talk shit and keep teaching you and keep busting people out of prison through my expert witness service. But they won't allow my movie to stream, and it was produced by Hollywood elites. So they're certainly not going to let Fisher's movie stream. It gets like 2,000 or 3,000 views per episode on YouTube. It should have 2 or 3 million views. This is the most historically accurate, best filmed, best storytelling documentary about that portion of history that's out there anywhere. There's no other film like it. I get excited when the episode of it drops. In fact, on HBO, side by side with Fisher dropping an episode every week of Fall of Boogaloo, the director of Tiger King also did Chimp Crazy, and now he's done the Monsters. What's it called? God Monsters, or Monsters of God, and it's about reptiles. So that drops, and then Fisher's drops once a week. So I'm watching those two in tandem. I'm going to cover that. That Tiger King director is a Fed. He got all Tiger King busted. He got all Chimp Crazy busted, and now he got all these reptile people busted. Most big film journalists are Feds, y'all. They're Feds. I've got an episode of that monster movie that we're going to follow, and I'm going to prove to you how I know that cameraman's a Fed. I've had Feds come stay with me back when I was busting cops and all that. Hey, Barry, we want to do a big story on you. They'd come spend 3 or 4 days with me in my house. I knew they were Feds, but I wanted them to see how I lived. I wanted them to see that I'm not dangerous. My kids are good. My wife's good, that we have a normal house. So I let them in. They don't know that I know they were Feds, but I knew they were Feds. I can name who it is, too. It's somebody y'all know. I'm not going to say, though. Yeah, Jennifer Hill says, Monsters of God. I'm watching it on YouTube right now. Oh, no, HBO. Yeah, my bad. It's good to see our Rumble channel. That's the first time I've streamed live on Rumble. It's good to see y'all in Rumble catching this stream. And YouTube didn't shut me down this time. You know what I think? This is how I think. This is how I think. This is just me. I think the feds told YouTube, don't cancel his streams anymore because we want to watch him. And we want to watch the chat box. We want to see who shows up and what they say. And YouTube, if you shut him off, we can't watch him. Yeah, we can go over into Rumble, but we want Barry comfortable. That's what I think. They do shit like that. And I don't sit around paranoid about being watched. I know I'm being watched. Don't care. Literally don't care. I know there's cameras and TVs and cameras on the phone, and we're being filmed and watched and listened to 24/7. I've known that for 10 years. Flock cameras don't scare me. Hell, you've been carrying around a flock camera for a decade. None of that scares me. They've been watching us from satellites in high D for a decade or more. I don't care if they watch me. Desmouse says, it's good you got Rumble up. Yeah, I learned my lesson last week. Pimp Pigeon Ralph in the house. He said, I was super bummed when the last one got cut off. Does this one start from where it left off? Yes. It starts with a clip from part 2 and then where it left off. And the show last week that YouTube shut down, they gave me that video back. I published it. So there's part 1 of Spotting Informants, and this is part 2 of Spotting Informants. And it's covering episode 3 of the downfall of Boogaloo. That's right. Red Russo says, Red Russo is a former ATF agent, y'all. Smart, who he and I have been communicating. He says, new age and tech is being used by feds, but informants will always be around. He's right. There's nothing more effective than an informant on the ground reporting directly to the FBI. And yes, when Mike Dunn left you all at dinner and spent 45 minutes in the bathroom in episode 4, he was in there talking to the cops. He was in there talking to the feds. We got some Boogaloo people in the crowd. We got the filmmaker Ford Fisher in here. I'm honored you all showed up. Got my old school Never Get Busted Club. By the way, if you want to meet live with me and our Never Get Busted Club every Thursday night on Zoom, join through Patreon, $7 a month. We do some crazy shit in that live Zoom. You just have to experience. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, that's called the Vault. See, D-Raj, he's one of our Vault members. We call it the Vault. It's like the Never Get Busted Club. And I'm there every Thursday night. I miss one Thursday out of every 10 because I have to for work. But I'm almost always there. D-Raj says, how well protected are informants in general, especially ones that are forced into it? Regular informants like I ran over 100 informants. Literally, I had over 100 informants through my career. They weren't protected. We didn't protect them. We didn't give a shit. We were just using them. Informants like Dunn, but I think Dunn's an actual agent. When they put those guys out on operations, they keep a Learjet circling. You can't see it. They may have helicopters somewhere ready. Sometimes they'll have a commando group on the ground disguised. You'll never know it, but in case shit goes down, they're going to protect their agent. Especially an agent. Not an informant as much, but they will protect an informant. Man, this Lang guy, Lang, he parked on a sidewalk. His latest arrest, did you see that? That looked all psyop to me. That looked like a federal. Okay, Jake, you're going to park on these sidewalks, and we're going to let people attack you. And later we're going to arrest you. Now, I haven't researched him and his story enough to really know. I'm just telling you that looked like a psyop. Who gets to park on a fucking sidewalk like that? Nobody, unless you're an FBI agent. I can't call the police in a town and say, guess what? I'm going to show up at your protest to create a whole bunch of shit, and I want to park on your sidewalk, and I want everybody around, I want cops all around the truck protecting me. That's not real life, is it? Matt McClurk says, the vault, the vault, the vault. Those are all vault members. Join the vault. The Patreon link is below. And finally, VK Ice agrees with me. He says Lang is a Fed or he's the biggest idiot ever. Right. It's that false bravado, isn't it? Red Russo says, if we were working, now Red Russo's a former agent, so he's talking about when we were working in a city, we always asked local PD for assistance or courtesy, right? Desmouse says they had the Spider-Man guy attack him like the Spider meme, where all the Spider-Mans point at each other and say they're feds, yeah. Beautiful people, I got to bounce. Tomorrow night's Vault. Then next Tuesday night, my weekly live show, and then Wednesday night we'll be back here exposing informants, covering episode 4 of Boogaloo. And that'll probably be all we cover of the Boogaloo film. So you go over to Ford Fisher's channel and watch the whole series, okay? Insolent Jaguar's here. Hey, sup? I'm about to bounce, girl. You just got here. Love you, Insolent Jaguar. That's my girl. She worked 3 years for Never Get Busted, never charged me a dime. Big love, y'all. Peace. We'll see you next week. Finished. Score, baby, score.